Hello, my friend. You're on the Empire Builders channel. Today we'll talk about one of the most mysterious stories in the world of criminal and prison escapes. Imagine a place considered absolutely impenetrable. A prison surrounded by icy water, vast phenomena, and constant surveillance. Escape, according to the authorities, was impossible. But in June 1962, 3 people defied the system and disappeared into the night. Did they survive? Or did the waters of San Francisco Bay become their grave? This is the story of the most famous escape from Alcatraz. Before we get to the actual escape, we need to understand why Alcatraz was considered such a terrifying prison. Alcatraz is located on a small island in the middle of San Francisco Bay. In 1934, a federal prison for America's most dangerous criminals opened here. Prisoners who caused trouble in other prisons were sent here. Famous inmates included Al Capone and George Kelly. Alcatraz's main defense wasn't its walls or bars, its most terrifying obstacle was nature itself. The island was located approximately 2 kilometers from the shore. The water was extremely cold, and the current was so strong that even skilled swimmers risked drowning. Therefore, prison officials were certain that escape was impossible. Among the prisoners were brothers John and Clarence Anglin, as well as Frank Morris. Frank Morris was a highly intelligent criminal. According to psychological tests, his IQ was significantly above average. Throughout his life, he escaped from various prisons and correctional facilities numerous times. The Anglin brothers also had extensive escape experience. They met on Alcatraz and quickly realized they shared the same goal, to escape at any cost. For several months, they studied the cell layout, security procedures, and the building's weaknesses. Gradually, an incredible plan began to emerge. The most astonishing thing about this story is how meticulously planned everything was. Behind the ventilation grates in their cells, the prisoners discovered an old utility corridor. Using spoons, homemade tools, and vacuum cleaner parts, they began gradually widening the holes in the walls, working exclusively at night. To conceal the noise, one of the prisoners played the accordion during music hour, while the others continued their work. Day by day, the holes grew larger. After a few months, the escapees were able to crawl through the walls and reach the hidden space behind the cells. There, they set up a secret workshop. It was there that the key component of their escape, the inflatable raft, was created. More than 50 raincoats stolen from the prison were used to make it. But that wasn't all. To conceal their absence from the guards, the prisoners made incredibly realistic models of their own heads. They used plaster, paper, soap, and real hair collected from the prison barbershop. From a distance of several meters, the fakes looked like sleeping people. On June 11, 1962, the plan went into effect. After evening inspection, the prisoners prepared for their escape. Late that night, Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers climbed out through holes in the walls. They then climbed through the service shafts to the building's roof. Moving in near total darkness, the escapees reached the island's shore. There, they inflated their homemade raft. Around 10 p.m., they left Alcatraz and headed for the mainland. They were never seen again. The next morning, the guards discovered something strange. The prisoners hadn't woken up. When one of the guards tried to wake Frank Morris, his head suddenly rolled off the pillow. The escape was discovered, launching one of the largest search operations in U.S. history. Agents from the Federal Bureau of Investigation were involved in the investigation. Several personal belongings of the escapees and parts of a homemade raft were found in the water. The official government story was that the prisoners drowned in the frigid waters of the bay. However, their bodies were never recovered. This raised many questions. Over the decades, new theories emerged. Some witnesses claimed to have seen the Anglin brothers years after their escape. In 2013, a letter allegedly written by one of the escapees came to light. The author claimed that all three had successfully reached shore and lived long lives. However, the letter's authenticity was never proven. So the question remains open. Did they manage to accomplish the impossible? Or did they fall victim to the frigid waters of San Francisco Bay? Even after more than half a century, there is no definitive answer. The Alcatraz escape remains one of the most enigmatic crime stories of the 20th century. 3 prisoners managed to evade guards, build a raft out of raincoats, and vanish without a trace. But the main question remains unanswered. Did they manage to gain freedom? Or does Alcatraz still hold its prisoners? If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like it, subscribe to the Empire Builders channel, and comment. Do you think the escapees survived the Alcatraz escape? See you in the next video.